Good morning. I'm up nice and early again today. Bit of a gamble. Weather forecast isn't great, but it looks like the only sort of break in it where there could possibly be a bit of nice weather is nice and early, sort of 7, 8, 9 o'clock. So I'm taking a gamble and getting up and going out before sunrise. I'm still in two minds of where to go. It's been thinking about it since last night, and I'm in between two locations at the moment. Thinking somewhere closer, seeing as it's a gamble and the weather could just be rubbish, and I haven't gone too far then, or somewhere a bit further, which would be moving me out into Dorset. So they're both in the same direction, so I'm going to head off and give me a time limit then of when I decide where I'm going, because at some point I'm going to have to turn off to one or keep going to the other. So a little bit of a mystery tour. So I'm going to head off now and see where I end up. So what I'm going to do is catch up with you later. See you soon. Right, well, I've come to the closer location, seeing as the weather forecast wasn't great. I thought I wouldn't travel too far, but it's not looking good, to be honest. I'm going to head over, which is only a short walk, 5 minutes or something like that, to see if I can sort of line up the shot which I came for, but I can sort of see the location from the car. Not looking good, so I'm not hopeful, but we'll head over and see what we can get, and might need to look around for some other shots. So what time is it now? 6:30. So we're about 30 minutes before sunrise, but pretty heavy cloud cover. What I was hoping for at best was sort of breaks in the cloud where I could get some light and some colour through. But we'll see what happens. So I'll catch up with you in a minute. Right, hi again. Where I've actually come to is a place called Budleigh Salterton, on the South Devon coast again. And what I've come for is specifically to shoot the trees there behind me. But what I was hoping for was two things: some nice light in the sky and colour, and reflections on the estuary here. And unfortunately I'm not getting either. There's too much wind. I'm just doing a long exposure here. I've put my 6-stop on to try to flatten out the water a little bit. I was on f11, ISO 200. So what I've just done a minute exposure there. Needs to go slightly longer, I think. Minute 10, minute 15, I think. So I'm just going to start that off. But as well as that, should be able to see there's a blue tent behind me. Never seen that here before. Could possibly add a bit of interest and a bit of colour, perhaps, but the way it is at the moment, I think I might have to go black and white. It's 5 to 7 just about. Sunrise is due, I think, at just gone 7. But any sort of colour in the sky is sort of taking place behind me rather than behind the trees over there where I want. So I might have to come up with a few other compositions down on the coastline. You can't actually see the coast from where I am because I'm down in under by the estuary, but we'll have a wander down over there in a minute. There's some other possibilities. There's some beach huts along the front which we might be able to shoot, perhaps, if there is any colour in a minute. If the sun does come up and poke its head through a little bit, we might get some colour across the beach huts. There's also perhaps one or two other compositions further down. Oh, blimey, talking way too long. The timing there has gone to 1.5 minutes now. Okay, right, well that's okay. So it's definitely not what I came here for, but I might be able to get a part decent shot out of that. Like I say, possibly black and white, but then I'm going to lose the little bit of colour from the tent there, which might be okay. Again, we'll have to see when we go back and post-process it. I might actually just stick my 10 stop on so I can have a really long exposure, just perhaps to try and get a bit more movement in the clouds, and to, yeah, anyway, right, so I'll be back in a minute because I'm just going to change my filter to my 10 stop and get an exposure on that because the light's coming, so the exposure time is going to drop, so I'll be back in a minute. Well, I've just taken a shot with my 10 stop on, f11 ISO 200, which gave me an exposure time of 3.5 minutes. The wind's died down a bit here, which is a bit better for the reflection, but not so good for the cloud movement. We'll see how it goes. The sun's up now, but as you can probably see, there's no colour pretty much anywhere. A little bit of pink over there behind me, which does me no good. A little bit of colour coming up over there, but not a lot. So I've got a couple of shots which I might be able to salvage one out of from here, but definitely not what I wanted. Nice still water, nice light in the sky, some colour. So anyway, I'm going to sort of probably hang around this spot for a few more minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, see how it goes, see if the light changes, the colour comes to the sky at all. If not, I'm going to head off down onto the beach where I'll catch up with you there. But again, I'm not holding out any hope for any light coming across over there. So we'll see how it goes, but I'll catch up with you in a minute. Well, I've come up onto the seafront, the beach. It's not looking good at all, really. See behind me, the sun's trying to come up there, but again, no real light happening. So what I'm going to do is head up along the beach, I think, and see what I can see over there. I'm going to head up along that way, but as you can see for yourselves, the conditions aren't great here this morning now, but as always, it's great to be up early and see the sunrise, although there's not really a sun rising this morning, but you know what I mean. It's always a disappointment when you come out so early and you don't really get a shot that you're after. Pleased that I didn't travel further though. I think it would have been pretty much the same, a bit further up the coast, which is where I was gonna go. But it's a nice place, Budleigh Salterton. I'm going to hang around here a bit more. I think I might just grab a coffee in the car first and then drive up that way, see if I can get any compositions up there. Don't think so with the conditions I got today, but might as well have a look while I'm here. So like I say, I'm going to grab my coffee and I will catch up with you in a bit.